Ja, do she in Shlo this chin versus chin. I'd like to give thanks to the original owners of this land and territory here where we're meeting. Due respect to them for their sacrifice. And the Navajo Nation extends also its appreciation to the original peoples of this region in North America. The Navajo Nation firstly also endorses the comments made by the Chickasaw Nation with regards to their participation in the United Nations systems. Navajo Nation will make the effort to answer the questions that were presented to this meeting on how the local governments implement the declaration and how at the national level there is effort at the international level. The Navajo Nation is a stakeholder in the recognition and protection of Indigenous peoples' rights. The Navajo Nation has a democratic form of governmental institute that represents over 300,000 citizens. Its land is the size of the Lithuanian country. The Navajo people elect their representatives to make, execute, enforce, and interpret their laws. The Navajo Nation also has a human rights agency that addresses race discrimination inflicted on the Navajo people. The Navajo Nation participated in many international forums and has made the effort to implement the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples within the United States. However, the effort has been met with the bureaucratic regime that is unwilling to change. 5 years later, the implementation of the Declaration continues to be substantially absent. There are many aspects of the Declaration that require immediate, meaningful, and effective implementation. These cross-cutting issues include protecting sacred sites, full authority over lands and resources, effective measures to protect health, education, and economic developments throughout Indigenous lands and territories, and the full and permanent participation in the United Nations activities and forums. While the Navajo Nation continues to propose amendments to domestic laws and policies that provide for the full implementation of the Declaration, it is also clear that the local governments and organizations in the United States have not heard of the Declaration. The local governments where we live are entirely unfamiliar with Indigenous human rights endorsed by the United States. As a matter of fact, some local governments in the United States continue to promote the stance that they do not respect international human rights treaties and standards. Therefore, with these comments, the Navajo Nation continues to reiterate its support and endorses the recommendation offered by the Haudenosaunee Nation and other Indigenous peoples' governments throughout the world that the first and foremost policy that should be implemented by the United Nations is the creation of an implementing body. This implementing body must be mandated to promote and fully monitor the implementation of the Declaration. And secondly, that this monitoring body must consist of the full and meaningful participation by the Indigenous peoples concerned. The Navajo Nation seeks positive implementation of the Declaration in the United States. It is essential and fundamental to the Navajo people that the Declaration be fully implemented by appropriately recognizing Indigenous nations having the full authority over their lands and resources as an example. Thank you very much.